Nah, you're good, bro. We're live, baby.
Oh, here we go.
You're chilling. We're
Yeah,
live,
so
my
what's
homie Ryan. Ryan, tell the people what's up, bro.
going on? Just finishing up work for the day. A little getting out early today. Normally get out about 7:15, but a little 8 a.m.
Early, bro. It's like 9 o'clock at night.
Nah, 8 a.m. to 6:30. It's not bad. It's a good life.
You be working long hours.
Someone's got to.
If we don't, who will?
I know. I know.
What's good with you, bro?
Nothing. Just wrapped up a group from one of the agencies that we do business with. They sent over the last fitness group of the night. We did 5:30, 6:30 with a couple individuals, all in their 20s. Group of guys. It was awesome.
Love that. Could you tell everybody what you got going on?
Yeah, so I run a small company right now called ASD Fit Boston. We're a adaptive fitness and movement group. We staff about 6 individuals right now, doing all various types of work. But we are providing individuals with neurodiversities and other disabilities kind of a high quality exercise experience. Um, these individuals, for the most part, don't have access to a healthy lifestyle, and we're just kind of tailoring it to their needs and bringing it to them, meeting everyone where they're at.
Got it. So pretty much you're like a physical therapy place for people with disabilities where you can work them out.
Yeah, we're whatever the individual needs. So for an individual, might be look more like a PT session, but another individual might want to do some Olympic weightlifting or strength training. Whatever their ability level lets them do, we meet them there. And the mix between OT, PT, rec, special ed, kind of that giant melting pot of where it all comes together happens in our facility in Brockton.
Okay. Dude, how did you get into that? Like, it's a
So yeah,
super neat type of thing. I feel like not too many people are doing that type of thing. I
yeah,
can think of,
it's kind of a different
yeah.
background got me here. I was working in college athletics. I played baseball and football in college. Had some success in baseball and was working at a school up in Vermont. Anybody who's gotten to coaching at a young age knows got to make ends meet. So I was working in the local school system up there, helping with the special ed department, and right away nobody was moving. You connect with the individuals, you talk to them, and it wasn't that they didn't want to, it's just nobody wanted to exercise with them. They weren't on teams, they didn't have after school things they were going to that were activity based. So I started kind of fiddling around with them up there, exercising a little bit, going into the gym, playing a little basketball. And these guys didn't want to sit in a classroom all day. All of a sudden, their behaviors kind of subsided. We got a lot more out of them on the education side of it. They built some confidence up, and I went and got a couple certifications. After I bounced around a little bit, I ended up back in my hometown and had one individual sign up for a class in 2018. And since then, it's kind of been word of mouth, and we've grown, especially in the last couple months. We've just kind of been booming.
Hell yeah, bro. Wait, so back in college, you just happened to stumble upon this niche.
Yeah, I was at Bridgewater State. I was studying exercise science and phys ed over there.
What were your plans with college? Like, this wasn't your plan, right?
No. You know what's funny? I didn't have a plan. I think I was kind of searching for something, whether it be whether you say purpose or anything. I was just kind of playing baseball at that point. I was having a lot of fun. I was always enjoying what I was doing. A good friend of mine has a baseball facility. I was always able to go and coach in there. I kind of fell in love with working with people and helping people succeed, other people. That's what got me into coaching. I through a friend met a friend who got me onto a coaching staff. And if you asked me at 22, 23 years old, that's what I was going to do. I was going to coach college baseball and grind it out, and was all gung ho that that's what it was going to be. And for whatever reason, I took a hard right turn and ended up here.
You're like, fuck that. I'm a boss.
Yeah. Well, at that point, it was just, and that's what we have a great admin who works with us. She's kind of the backbone of our staff and team. And she said, "Well, when you started this, where did you see it going?" And I was like, "I was surfing a few days a week. I had a couple clients. It was awesome. I had the weekends open, um, and I wasn't making any money, but I was having fun." Uh, and then
Mm.
and then again, you ask yourself, like, hey, can I do a little bit more? Can I do a little bit more? What if I did this? And yeah, just kind of challenge yourself every day to expand and grow yourself and see what happens, see if you can help more people out.
Dude, looking back to it, you were doing like 20 different things.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay busy more than anything.
Literally, that's literally what it was. You were just trying to stay busy.
Yeah, I don't
Making
have.
money in like any and every way possible, having sessions here. Because for the listeners, me and Ryan have been good friends for a while. And I've seen Ryan grow this thing from the start. And when he started, he was doing a bunch of different things, right? But there was
Yeah,
one thing that he just kept doing. He just kept staying focused on this. This is always like your little baby.
yeah, I was substitute gym teaching. I was like, I did runs with you throwing junk away a few times. I was, I mean, I was never lazy. I just didn't really have a direction of where I was going. And then yeah, just every day I woke up, I knew I wanted to help somebody with a disability work out. So that was always first and foremost. If I just do that and somebody would pay me to do that, I was like, this is great. And then
Mhm.
I thought it was the coolest thing. Again, I think I have the coolest job in the world, but it's the coolest job for me. It might not be the coolest job for you, but every day I get to wake up and just, hey, I get to go to a gym that uh, does something that not everyone gets to see on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's super dope. With that being said, has it been tough trying to figure out a business model? Because, like for me, for example, right? I have mentors that I go to. Not saying that you don't have mentors or anything, but I have mentors that are doing the same exact model, business model as I want to go to, right? So I go to them and I get the blueprint and I just got to go implement it. So talk about what it's like to go into a business that you don't have any blueprint. You don't really know the direction. You have things like maybe physical therapy places or something like that you can kind of piggyback off of, but there's not really too many people that are doing exactly what you're doing. Like in my line of work, there's freaking an infinite amount of businesses that are direct to seller wholesaling. Like everybody and their mother's doing it. So it's very easy for me to go to another person, pay for a mentorship, pay for some coaching, and figure out how the heck to do it. So talk about how what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I think that people around me, without them realizing, kind of are my mentorship program or something. I know you're in a program and you get bits of information, and I talk to you daily or at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I get a piece of info from you. We have another good buddy who he runs a baseball program, and I can pick up things from him. I'm fortunate. A lot of the families in here that we work with, they have grown businesses, they have been super successful, and they can give you bits of information. But at the end of the day, I think we have a singular focus. It's to take somebody with a neurodiversity or a disability and get them healthier. So that's really at our core, and we don't stray too far from that. The business side's the toughest thing for me. My
Mhm.
mom's great with business. She went to Babson, which is a great college. Um, I have support around me, and I've just been lucky. I've been connected with some great people, and a lot of it's like, even you've connected me with someone down in Pawtucket who can help me. She volunteers at our group down there, but leaving, I always ask a question. I can pick her brain, get someone else's perspective. Um, I know what I know. I know how to exercise, and I know how to work hard.
Mhm.
Everyone else knows something that they can give you. And I think having those conversations and knowing what you don't know has been huge for us along the way. Um, and as far as business model, it changes every day. Um, we're this snowball that's picking up steam, and we don't know exactly where we're going to go with it. That's kind of been the scariest thing in all of this.
Mhm. Yeah. So essentially, it's kind of like if you think about it, all businesses are pretty much the same. Like you said, you're trying to figure out how do we get these kids active, or how do we get these people active when they're not active right now. So what you just did is you solved the problem. And then all the other departments in your business is the same thing as like a place that sells mattresses, right? Like there's all specific parts of businesses that pretty much every single business has.
Yeah.
And you're just going to piggyback off of it could be a landscaping business or
We're
non-real
a service. We're a service.
exactly. And that's
So,
pretty much every business. Every
yeah.
business solves a problem. They're a service, and you
Our
can
our administrator, she's from the dental industry. Very, very organized, conscious on time, conscious on billing. She's probably, and I haven't seen many, but I would argue she's as good as it gets on that aspect. And she picks up where I kind of have deficiencies. My lead floor coach right now, I would say he's better than me at a one-to-one session at this point. He's just done so many of them.
that's so good. Dude, that is so good.
But they're all bought in. I think we have this nice buy-in right now because
Mhm.
I kind of had this vision. I mean, we didn't have additional staff on staff until really April of last year. So in 2018 going into 2019, I saw one person a week. It's 2022 now. We see over 200 people in the course of a week.
Damn.
And,
So
and
that dude that's doing all your floor work is getting more work than you ever were.
not so much getting more work. He's just really dialed in on one-to-one sessions. We have him, myself, and right now 2 other coaches on the floor.
So is he doing more one-on-one sessions in one day than you ever were by yourself?
No, the model's a little different now. I used to go door to door with this, which didn't have a. So when I first met him, we were subleasing some gym space back in our hometown,
Mhm.
and we got a great opportunity. It really got us off the ground. But before that, I mean, I was driving door to door, so I might go. And this goes back to just being able to work. I knew I was able to work when I could drive from Norton at 9 a.m. to a 10:30 in Duxbury. You couldn't get gas. You couldn't go to the bathroom. You couldn't miss because you had to be there. So I had to shoot over to Duxbury, and then I might shoot up to Dorchester later that morning, and then hit one in Bridgewater, and then go back up to Weymouth and finish a group. So I was putting a lot of miles on an old Sonata, and I was kind of just chasing it. I mean, I didn't have a lot of direction. I would put in
So
a lot.
really what my question is, right? If you were door to door, you're not able to do as many one-on-ones as he is when he's just hanging out in the gym because people are coming to him.
Yeah. So he could see, man, he works some long hours for us, and he does a great job. He was in from 9 to 7. Um, I don't know. I mean, we go through a lot. He gets a lot of one-to-ones. It's Wednesday. I just did a group. I do a lot of the groups right now. But again, I've seen from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1. I've been going straight through all day with one-to-one sessions. So I just know he has the ability as much as anyone else.
Which is so dope. So where I'm trying to get at with it, right? I'm actually in the process right now of having a sales guy come on the team. And he's like 3 weeks into the training and he's starting to become full-time. Right? And what it does is he's an acquisition manager for us. So he's the guy who calls all the sellers that are truly, truly vetted, right? Somebody that is really ready to sell their property. He's the one that's calling them. Before it was me, but I'm also the business owner. So what ended up happening was when I'm at that acquisition manager role, there's only so many hours in a day. Not only do I have to call all the sellers, but I got to coach my team. I got to get on daily huddles with my team. I got to instill team culture. I got deals going on. I got to do a bunch of things. So I'm neglecting those acquisition manager calls. Now that that's his sole focus. That's it. He's just in our CRM, like talking to sellers all day. So could you imagine how good he can get if that's all he's doing all day? And how many
Yeah,
more contracts he would get than I would because I'm neglecting them for a half of the day.
I think it's all about you just identify skill set in an
Mhm.
individual. Everybody on a team has a specific role. I think as the boss or the CEO or whatever you want to say, the owner of the company, you're in a similar position. You're kind of like a point guard.
Mhm.
You just facilitate. You know what everyone's good at. You best put people in situations to be successful. We're onboarding right now some new staff, and you have to have some tough conversations with them and say, "Hey, right now, here's your skill set. Here's where you can be a great asset to the team, and whether they like that or not, that has nothing to do with you." Um, it's like that know thyself. Like you gotta know who you are and where you fit, and not everyone's cut out to make decisions and be in a leadership position. Um, but that's good. Not everyone's supposed to.
Yeah, like 99% of people aren't.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think they are, and then at the end of the day, they're not the ones.
Why? Why do they think they are? Why do they wanna think they are?
I think they don't know themselves. I think they're trying to figure it out. I think there's a lot of like instant gratification when you're the owner of a company.
And they
People just
think the shit's cool.
yeah, it is cool and it has its perks and it has its benefits, but you also are the one who's stressed out over budget. You're also the one who has to go in later, go in early, and take time away from other people in your life um, that suffer too. And you have to work on that side of things where you work a 9 to 5, you can punch in, punch out, go with your family, give them your time after 5 o'clock. I know you're the same way as me. It's 24/7. It's never really off.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I'm working a crazy amount of hours because I love this shit. Now, a lot of people I've actually had somebody come to me recently who is in a 9 to 5. He's like, "Bro, what you got going on is freaking amazing. I got to get the heck out of my job." I'm like, "Yeah, I agree with you, man. I couldn't do a 9 to 5 at all. What are you trying to accomplish?" He's like, "Dude, well, I just don't want to work anybody. I want to kick my feet up." I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on. So you think that you're gonna go leave your 9 to 5 job, go build a business, and then just kick your feet up and everything's freaking amazing?
Yeah.
That's not how this shit works, dude. Like I'm legit working like 12 hours a day. You do not know a multi-millionaire who is just hanging out all day. And
No,
by the way, with that being said, going to hang out all day would be cool for like freaking 5 hours.
I don't even think I'd like it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even I know you're the
I
same
mean,
way as me. It's Sunday and you're like crawling out of your skin because you're like, "Oh, I could be working on this right now." It's just it's on the front of my mind right now from the time I wake up to go to bed. I mean, it's probably, unfortunately, probably it's not the healthiest thing, but it's just something that's there. I'm just like focused.
yeah, bro, because it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think you're in a similar boat to me. Is you know what it can be. Like I've seen people really grind it out, and I've seen where they got to, and I look up to that, and I'm like, I can get there too. But I just have to sacrifice a little bit now and do some of the tough stuff now at this stage in my life. My mom has this great quote. She's always like, "You build your reputation and stuff in your 20s. Like that's where you kind of get out there, get yourself noticed, and then the money and everything and the success follows that after. But you got to do it while you're young and able to do it."
Yeah, I get it. I like that. But like what I'm thinking though is why the heck do people look at entrepreneurship and they're like, yo, you got a business that's booming, it's super dope. I bet when you're 40 years old, you're just gonna be able to go on a beach and hang out. Dude, when I'm 40 years old, I'm gonna be doing some badass shit. I'm gonna be running ultras. I'm gonna be starting more businesses. Like I'm not gonna stop because this is just my lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
doesn't.
that's
It doesn't make any sense. Like I can't see myself. Actually, by the way, at 40, if that's how I feel, I'm not gonna judge myself. That's just how I'm gonna feel.
Yeah, and I don't think there's an end goal. I don't think it's like you hit a point, you check out. I think
Exactly.
you don't just move to Florida and retire. I don't think there's an end goal in any
But
of
I
it.
think that's what people see.
Yeah,
Because that's what you
title.
see on Instagram or whatever the case is of entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs are great marketing people, right? They're gonna get you. They're gonna be on the boats and they're gonna be doing all the things that's gonna get the regular person to look at it like, damn, I wish I lived that life.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, what are they doing? What got them there? I mean, if I hit on a bunch of scratch tickets, I probably wouldn't be happy.
That would stink.
If I just ran into a sum of money, I'm like, well, what I would do is I would just take the money and I put it back into the business and challenge myself and
Exactly.
develop something else.
Now,
It's
Brad, you know Bradley?
no, I
He's an
know
entrepreneur.
different people than you. I have a whole different like feed on my social media.
Yeah, yeah. So he had something, right? I forget the actual amount, but he's like, would you rather earn $1 million or would you rather just have $10 million given to you? What are your thoughts?
I think you earn it, but I think you earn the million and then you eye the 10 million. And you're like, whoa, 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 if I just do that 10 more times, I already have that.
Dude, so he and that was kind of my first thought process too. But he's like, why the heck wouldn't you just take $10 million and then go do some badass shit with it?
I know. I think the joy is in the process.
Exactly. So take the $10 million and go have a good process or something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
I
why
think
wouldn't you just take it? I think what he's trying to get at is people look at the grind or whatever the case is as so cool.
it's rewarding.
Okay.
There's something rewarding to it, but I also think
But so you can't go grind if you just get plopped $10 million?
no, but I don't think my life would change.
No, neither will mine.
I
That's what he's getting at.
I would do exactly the same stuff. So I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't think I'd care. I don't think I'd care. I think I'd still wake up at the same time and do the same thing because that's all I know at this point.
I would probably have to wake up earlier because now we have $10 million to go
To
figure out what
spend,
the heck to do with.
yeah, to spend. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'd end up buying stupid stuff and just like wasting that money and living off the money I've earned.
Hmm. Um, let's talk about like your schedule, dude. You have a crazy schedule.
Yeah,
Like, you do some badass shit during the day.
yeah. I don't know when this happened. I think when we were both just getting going, we did have a lot more free time, and neither one of us could sit still. So, man, for the maybe 6 years, I would wake up about 4:15 every morning. If it's the weekend or if somehow I end up on a vacation, the latest I've probably slept is about 6. If I sleep in, my just body clock doesn't work great. I get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. For my Whoop band tells me that. But no, it's the same thing. I check a couple emails real quick in the morning. I drink a glass of water, have pre-workout, go work out in the gym. If I can, sneak in a sauna. I like to get home by 6:45 if I can, from like a 5 to 6:30 gym session, and then kind of phase out. I get a nice hour with my fiance in the morning where we just kind of hang out. That's where we have some quality time. She's normally not even awake, but I count it because I don't have a lot of chances around the house. So I pop in there. We kind of hang out. I drink the same thing every morning for a shake. I don't really eat
Did you
during
copy my schedule?
I sneak in. I sneak in anytime I get a window to sneak in a run because I normally start about 8 or 9 every morning at work. I get in a little bit early, but I try to sneak in at least a 5K every day at some point, except for if I have a little bit more time. I've been hitting like 8, 9 miles. And especially on the weekends, if I can sneak it in. And
Why do you work out so much?
I think it settles my mind. My gears are going. I'm talking to myself, and there are a few hobbies for me that check me in where the only thing I'm doing when I'm lifting weights is lifting weights. The only thing I do when I'm running is I'm running. I'm listening to things, but I'm kind of at ease if I'm golfing. same thing. I can focus. Hunting, I can focus. Um, Fishing, I can focus. But snowboard, like I do those like activities because if I'm just sitting there, I'm crawling out of my skin, just like
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Dude, I had this dude Jonah on my podcast a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how we're talking about meditation and shit. And he's like, working out is a form of meditation because you can't think about anything else.
Yeah.
Especially how me and you work out. Like the analogy that I said, I was like, hey, there's sometimes I have like 405 pounds on my back. I can't think about nothing else but doing that damn squat. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
again, the only one, my sister lives in London, so she's the only one up when I'm up. So I'll talk to her. I check in with her a couple times a week,
Mhm.
and it's 4:45 when we're on the phone. So again, there's not a lot of distractions at that time. Um, if you, I don't know, if you try sneaking in during the day, so many things could pop up. Um, my time between 8 in the morning and about 7 at night is other people's time. Um, I kind of give up my time for other people as much as I can. And then when I get chances to be by myself, I enjoy it. I think that's something new to me. I always lived with people, or as part of bigger teams. So even like talking to you right now in the office at 7, it's quiet, and I'm like kind of on edge. It's just a little different. So I don't know. Finding ways to settle your mind's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I use it. I use working out to do that as well. Um, so why do you just keep going? Like your day legit doesn't stop. And this is almost 7 days a week.
Yeah, yeah, it would be 7 if I could. But I got to make time for some other people. So I try to keep Sundays open for other people. Um, but why? I don't know. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to. I don't know. I think I have some skills that can help people, like a lot of people, and I think we see just the tip of the iceberg right now. Um, so it's a challenge to myself, kind of more than anything, to not give up, not punch out. I think a lot of people, they kind of punch in, punch out. I know a lot of people work, they just put the computer up, or when the day's over, it's just over, it's whatever. And they're not really like full go every day, all day, but it's fun. It's how I'm wired, for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know any other way. I don't know what it's like to be kind of wake up and not be excited to go. I wake up, I just pop out of bed, and I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, dude, that would suck. That would suck just waking up and be like, damn, today stinks.
This again. This again.
This again?
They do that for 20, 30 years, and then they hope, and then that's when the people who the end goal is just retirement. Um, I mean, my dad retired, and he works more now than he did when he was working.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I see that, and he's I don't know if he's ever had a bad day.
yeah, dude, your dad lives a badass life.
Yeah, he never has a bad day. He goes
He
and
did some badass shit.
he does the stuff he
It's,
likes all day.
it's going back to what I was talking about when people think that this shit is just going at 40 years old and kicking your feet up and hanging out on a beach. It's not cool. Right?
No, it's not cool for me. It's not cool for me. It's cool for other
For
people.
us.
Yeah.
For other people, but as far as like an end goal, dude, you're gonna get bored after a couple of weeks of hanging out on the beach. Then you're gonna want to do some shit.
Yeah.
Like your pops. Your pops probably retired, and he's like, "Yo, I still want to do some badass shit every day."
Yeah. He retires and works 3 jobs. And
Right.
they're not huge time consuming things, and it's not physically exhausting, but there's just things he really likes to do. And if he can get paid to do it, he'll sign up and do it. My mom's not always happy about it, but again, he doesn't have bad days. He's easy to be around.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. Yeah, man. It's not like I don't think working your ass off is cool. We just do it because it's a lifestyle, and we just wake up every day and we're like, "Yo, it's amazing. We get to work our ass off every day." And I'm
Yeah,
not like saying doing the opposite is bad. I'm just saying I think there's a misconception, right? Like there's a misconception where people that you're talking about, hey, work their job and then they're so happy about retirement 30, 40. But I really, really, truly, matter of fact, I would love to have somebody on the podcast and ask them this situation if they've gone through that. I would really like to know if that person that just lived a quote unquote regular life, they get to 30, 40 years old and they retire. I would truly be interested in seeing how they feel. Like, are they
What
super excited to wake up every day after retirement?
I think it changes though. I think it goes in waves. I'm sure if I had 3 or 4 kids right now and I was kind of focused on them and then the work was for them, so I'd be done at 2 o'clock every day to get them home from school. And yeah, you sacrifice some financial stuff in that case. I think you'd be happy with that life too. I think it just goes in waves for people.
But dude, that's work. Like you're raising your kids.
Yeah. Again, but that's purpose. So it goes back to purpose. So I think if
Oh,
you're,
now we're getting somewhere. This has to do with purpose.
yeah, it kind of all comes back to purpose. Kind of why you do anything. I mean, why do you get out of bed in the morning?
Right. And
There's some people who don't have it.
I'm trying to figure out, dude, how the heck do people find that?
Find not having a purpose.
How do they find their purpose? Because they're waking up every single morning. They're just like, just going on.
Yeah, just look internally. I think a lot of people look at other people and they either get hit with a label, or you're this or you're that, and they kind of fall into this little box. But again, it's your life. You know what makes you happy. Everyone knows that. Some people are creative. Some people are athletes. Some people like to compete at, I mean, chess. It doesn't matter. But if there's something that gets you excited and you're doing that, I think that's your purpose. And sometimes it's self-centered for people, and sometimes it's for other people. I don't know. I got lucky with the roll of the dice that the thing that makes me most happy is helping people kind of stay fit and get active.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like me and you got super, super lucky.
Oh, so lucky. Again, that's environment though. We grew up with the same people in the same area.
Yeah, but dude, that has nothing to do with it. Like there's knuckleheads.
It does.
No, but there's nobody that I knew growing up is having a business or whatever the case is. And I'm not saying having a business is the route to go.
But they definitely have their purpose. And I think all our at least our buddies and our friends and the people we associate with all have this, like, whether it's a chip on the shoulder or a competitive edge that, like if you're in our friend group, I mean, you kind of have some dog in you. And if you don't have that, we don't really associate with that.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, I can't really think of too many friends that I have that don't really have that purpose. And if they don't have the purpose, then they're trying to figure out how the heck to go get it.
Yeah, they're trying though. They're trying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have a lot of friends that have tapped out.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people, and I see it. And again, I work around people all day. You see everyone's family situation. You become entangled in what they have going on, and it's a clear thing. Some of the most wealthy people here are the most happy people, and it has nothing to do with their wealth. It just has to do with what they do day to day, how they live, how they eat. I mean, it's all connected. And then you have some people who are financially very well off, and they struggle day to day just getting up and keeping it together with their families. And in our situation is you hope you just give them some of the tools as a family. That's the other part of this job. We're so ingrained in people's families, and I talk to people all the time, and I take one bit of information that I like and I give it to someone else, and I hope they're doing the same to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's I don't know, dude. It's just been on my mind lately. Like, how the heck do people just wake up and get fired up about doing whatever the heck it is they're doing? It doesn't have to be with making a bunch of money or.
Do you think, I'll ask you a question. Do you think people in that situation were built up growing up, or built up by their friends or their parents or who are they associate with it to go find it?
Maybe that's the case. Yeah, maybe they weren't surrounded by that type of environment.
I think where we grew up plays a huge role in that. I think we got super lucky. I mean, we didn't grow up in terrible situations or the greatest situations. It was always somewhere in the middle, but you got to see both sides. I think a lot of people don't get to see both sides growing up.
Yeah, but then there's people that are opposite, right? There's people that either grow up with everything or grow up with nothing, and they know their purpose completely. And then, like, think about it. People that grew up with everything, whatever quote unquote everything is, they can go two different directions. See what I mean?
Yeah, you think you think you always have the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's all habits though too. I mean, a lot of it goes back
That's what I think it is too.
to habits.
It
I
goes back to
had
lifestyle.
Yeah,
Because
I had some good coaches growing up in all different sports and everything. And one of the football coach I had was always saying you're always being evaluated by someone. So someone's always watching what you're doing, whether you know it or not. I mean, something small. I mean, you go to order food. You go to the cafeteria in college was a perfect example. There was healthy food and unhealthy food, and people watch what you were eating. And if you're eating just ice cream every meal, I mean, if you were if you were trying to be attractive to the girls and the stuff in the school, they were noticing that you're walking around with chocolate ice cream all over your face all the time, or ketchup all over the place. I mean, someone's always taking a look at what you're doing and making a judgment. I think like that Planet Fitness judgment free zone, that's impossible. That might be the worst quote ever, judgment free zone. Because I see that sign and I make a judgment on the place. You do too.
Yo, legit.
I couldn't think of a worse slogan. And again, it's people are everything's watered down right now.
Yeah. I think for us, well, at least for me, because going back to like whatever childhood or something like that, there was no like purpose or something instilled in me. My childhood had nothing to do with that. I think football had to do with that.
Yeah.
Football was a major thing because think about it. Every day, your coaches made you go to practice because there was a purpose. There was a purpose to go win the fucking game. There's a purpose to go win a damn championship or whatever it is you guys are trying to do. So every day that you got up and went to practice, there was purpose aligned with the practice. You weren't just going to practice just to hang out.
No, and I think too, as far as the social component, I think you're respected. Once you got respected by the team, the upperclassmen on the team, and you didn't have to be a star player or anything, but once they knew you were bought in and you had some toughness to you, especially in football, but really in any sport, once that culture kind of brings you in, it means a lot as an athlete, but as a person when you're invited into the group. And you know how it is. I mean, there might be 100 kids on a college football team, but only 40 of them are really the guys. So there's a social component there that gives you confidence. Okay, well, if I'm accepted here, well, that means I'm doing something right. And if the culture of that program's great, well, those are the people who go and have a lot of success, not just on the field, but kind of beyond that and beyond college. And if you show me the really good players I played college football with, they were the ones watching film. They were the ones always watching what they ate. They're the ones now who are super successful. Some of them have families and they're all doing really well. Show me the guy who couldn't put it together back then. He might still be trying to put it together now.
Yeah. Yeah, sports is huge, bro. Sports tells everything. I remember my pops used to always say everything, especially in football. You'll go through every single emotion during football.
Well, I think we went on
that. It was just a whole game of life.
That ultra we ran, I think that was the probably one of the turning points in my life. Just seeing like, man, we went in a 24-hour race. Me and you did. We had everything.
That's when you realize you were a badass, bro.
Yeah, but you realize you can do it, and I mean, you realize you can do it, but you also realize that there are highs and lows and it's ups and downs, but you're headed the right direction. And I think, hey, we kept running. I mean, me and Mike ran 24 hours.
Yeah. Hold on. Before you go, explain exactly what we had to do. This was like,
so I called Mike.
Little story, and then I'll let you go because I know you got to run.
I called Mike on like a Wednesday and I was like, hey man, what are you doing this weekend? He was like, nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna run 24 hours straight. And I had run a half marathon in the Falmouth Road Race. So I had a little bit of running experience and we were running, but Mike had never run more than a 5K. And I just said, hey, we're gonna do it. So in like 2 days, we put this plan together. I said, I'll pick you up. We're going to drive up to the farm we're going to run on, and we're just going to like live out of the car. And we're going to figure out how far we can run in 24 hours. And by the time we got to the start line, people were talking. They were like, hey, that's that kid who's never run more than a 5K. So like Mike's talking to everyone. And I mean, every demo of people were there. It wasn't a huge group, but everyone.
It was the coolest group of people I ever been around.
There
was walks of life from everywhere. There was
everywhere.
There was crackheads. There was freaking millionaires.
Oh, there were guys who were coming out of drug rehabs that would just chase another high. There were soldiers coming back, and they're like, "Yeah, this running stuff saved my life." And you're just in your sneakers, and that's it. I mean, you really can't. Nobody, like everyone was helping each other. Everyone was giving each other advice. You're going as far as you can, and people wanted to win, but it wasn't like winning the race was the goal for anyone. It was just like, hey, how far can I push myself? And people pushed themselves far. People carried us. Man, but you're out there and I was like emotional at some points. I'm like, man, what do I want to do with my life? You're talking to yourself. I think I went no headphones in a steady state jog without taking a break for like 35 miles before I like even thought to do anything else. I was just like in my own head, just like, and again, this wasn't a scenic trail. It was a loop it
was a 1 mile loop.
No, it was 0.8 miles.
Loop. Yeah. So not even a mile that you literally just had to circle around for 24 hours.
And every 6 hours, they made you go the opposite way so you wouldn't lose your mind.
Yeah, it was freaking bananas.
And I was losing my mind. I was like hallucinating by the end of it. I thought I was hallucinating because I heard a bunch of coyotes coming. And then I heard people freaking out. And I'm with Mike. It's probably 2 or 3 in the morning in the middle of the woods in Vermont. And I said,
no, Ryan was going, you were going crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You were going crazy because I heard him. And here's how I know you're going crazy. We're at the opposite end, and they were real. They were real coyotes or whatever the hell they were. And Ryan's like, yeah, but we'll be fine. I'm like, dog, I'm not fucking going over there. He's like, no, we gotta go. I'm like, nah, we gotta wait.
Yeah, we have like headlights on our head and like little lamps. And I was convinced somebody was playing music.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
I was like, no, man, that's a recording of coyotes. They're not real. And I'm just jogging right to where they're coming out of. And at that point, I mean, if one came up on me, I was going to just probably bite me and kill me. I physically was too weak to do anything.
Yeah.
So we were exhausted. And then we went back to the car. We were eating everything we could. I mean, we had a big ass thing of peanut butter. It was like one of them really big ones you get at BJ's. And we had no idea what we were doing.
We had no idea.
There were experienced runners. Everybody was in their gear. I don't even think we wore shirts. We just wore basketball shorts.
Yeah.
And everyone had like running tops and like extra like water bottles and stuff. And
everybody like this is a legit sport. I had no idea, right? Like it's a legitimate sport. Ryan hits me up on like a Wednesday. We're supposed to go that Saturday or something. And I had no idea that this is an actual thing that people do. Like people legit train for this shit. Like they really do this thing like they are going in the NFL or something, right? Like that's the equivalent, right? Like so people do it professionally. It's something called ultra racing. I had no idea. Ryan just like, yo, we're going to head up to Vermont and we're going to run for 24 hours as long as we can. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that shit. And he's like, all right, bro, I'm going to go alone. I was like, shit, now I got to do it. I mean, so we get there and all these people are like elite. They all have all the gear. They have all the things, right? And me and Ryan are just, we got a jar full of peanut butter in some basketball shorts.
So we got up there, and my buddy who runs races, he said to me one time, he said, when you show up to the start line, you already want to be in a full sweat. And he's talking about 5Ks, and I'm not registering it. I'm like, you want your muscles to be loose? So I woke up and I went and squatted. I was sweating.
Oh, yeah.
I had this like good workout. I was like, nice. My body's all up. I lifted probably for like an hour, like hit it pretty hard, feeling great. I picked Mike up. I mean, we're ready to rock. And we show up, and right when we walk in, we're like, dude, where are we? People had like sticks and tents set up and like sponsorship banners and stuff. And we got to the start line, and first off, nobody was built like us. Like we're both pretty dense with muscle,
Yeah.
and
Everybody has no fat, no muscle at all.
yeah, everyone's 5'8", 120 pounds, like very lean, like good running builds. And me and Mike, let's just go. And we would like be running, and I'd be like, Mike, what's up with that guy? Like there would just be a guy wearing sandals. There'd be a guy drinking a beer every lap. Like there were so many different types of people there that you felt in because you could just be yourself. You could be like, yeah, it's just who I am. What are you going to do? I'm going to be out here running with you guys.
Yeah.
And again, we met one guy. I think Mike kept his contact information, and he was absolutely insane. I'm not going to say his name. Because it might be on it. He kept doing events after that we followed.
Oh yeah, he was a beast.
Yeah,
he owned a business.
No, the guy who lost like 300 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were like some people out there that I didn't know they existed in the real world, and we were racing together, and we're like, this is pre-COVID, so like you're sharing waters with people. They're eating half a hot dog and giving you the other half, and you're like, hey, thanks.
That was super nuts because there was so many different type of people. There was business owners, there was crackheads, there was people that just got out of
everyone was living. Everyone was just living and getting
everybody was just
on life.
Oh,
I think that's what this whole message goes back to. I think we both kind of know ourselves, and we're kind of stoked up on day to day, just waking up and doing
badass shit. Like literally, if it wasn't for business, I'd be doing things like that all day.
Yeah, but I probably get bored of that and end up doing something different and end up like super into art or something. I don't know. I just think I'm so all in on this right now. And in the next chapter of my life, it might be something else. 6-7 years ago, it was college baseball, and I was going to coach college baseball. And I had this, hey, I'm going to go to this school. This is going to open up for me next. I have this goal in mind. And I was all in there. And then for whatever reason, I steered away. And I think with this, I don't steer away with running the company. I just think the company might go a slightly different direction long term.
Yeah.
I think it just you go where you're kind of sent.
No, dude. I'm excited to see where you keep going because I've seen it from the absolute jump. Like when you said in the beginning, the first client that you had, I remember.
Yeah. Everyone remembers him. He's the man.
Yeah.
And I tell him all the time, hey, you're the reason behind why this is where it's at now. You're the only one who signed up for this big class I thought it was going to fill up.
Cut him the check, bro.
It was just you. I know. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm excited to see how he gets involved more. As he when I met him, he was a little kid. Now he's like a big teenager, and he's growing up kind of in front of my eyes. It's been weird to watch.
Cool. Yeah, so let the people know what you got going on going forward and how they can contact you.
Yeah, I'll kind of wrap it up with that. We have so ascfitboston.com is our website. We have a location in Brockton. We have a coach that works up in the Framingham area with a foundation a couple times a week. We have groups going in all the different service centers around the state. Mostly on the southern side of the state right now, your ARCs, your support centers, your day habs. We're working in there as a staff. We are getting more active finally on social media. It was never my strong suit. I don't really care for it. We're making an effort to grow our social up. So we're at ASD Fit Boston on Instagram. Um, and on YouTube, we're starting a thing right now. We have an online program we're working on. It's not going to be out quite yet, but we are teasing it by giving out our morning moves. So it's just, hey, anybody of all ability levels can come in, flip on the YouTube, and we do a stretch or a strength move for the day. It's a 30 to 40-second video. It's actually really resonating with some of the elderly people. Like my mom's aunt's been super into it. Some older adults see the moves and say, "Oh, I love this." I just pop it on my YouTube. So, trying to grow our YouTube at ASD Fit Morning Moves is that series. I think if you just type in ASD Fit on Instagram, you'll see us. On YouTube, you'll see us. But yeah, we're just, I don't know, we're just trying to keep people moving who don't always get the opportunity to. I think we're a different company than like your traditional fitness company. We do the opposite. A lot of people want to get shredded and jacked and have that six pack, and we just want to be able to help you get out of bed in the morning and not need help going to the bathroom or getting dressed in the morning. That's kind of our goal. Keep people getting some independence.
Love it, bro. All right, bro. I appreciate you coming on here, dog.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity, man. I've been following these.
Hell yeah, we going big, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right, bro.
All
Appreciate
right, I'll
it.
see you.